It was a chilling autumn evening, the air thick with an unsettling stillness as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting elongated shadows across the time-worn tombstones of the ancient cemetery. I found myself drawn to a particular crypt, its weathered facade adorned with cryptic symbols that seemed to defy interpretation. The moon, full and luminous, cast an eerie glow upon the graveyard, amplifying the mystique that clung to the air. As the night unfolded, I couldn't resist the temptation to unravel the mysteries concealed within the crypt's enigmatic symbols. My curiosity propelled me forward until I stood before the imposing door. Its cold, metallic surface bore the weight of centuries, hinting at the secrets held within. Without hesitation, I reached out, and to my surprise, the door yielded beneath my touch. The crypt welcomed me with an oppressive darkness that seemed to absorb all light. The air inside was thick with an ancient mustiness, and the only sound was the echo of my own hesitant breaths. I navigated cautiously through the shadows until a figure materialized before me, its form elusive and indistinct. The figure beckoned me closer, its voice a mere whisper that echoed through the crypt. It spoke in tongues long forgotten, revealing secrets of rituals entwined with the passage of time. Each word carried a weight, as if the very air around me absorbed the essence of the forbidden knowledge. The darkness seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, binding me to a realm beyond the mortal veil. I stood there, a mere mortal ensnared in the dance of ancient forces. The crypt became a conduit for a malevolent presence, and I could feel its tendrils weaving into the fabric of my being. The secrets whispered were not meant for mortal ears, and the binding ritual invoked a sense of dread that clung to me like a shroud. Time lost its grip within that crypt, and I found myself suspended between the realms of the living and the spectral. The boundaries blurred, and the air grew colder as the shadowy figure continued its arcane narration. The weight of the secrets bore down on me, threatening to unravel the very fabric of my sanity. Eventually, the whispers subsided, and the figure dissipated into the encroaching darkness. The crypt's door, heavy and foreboding, swung shut behind me, leaving me standing alone in the graveyard once more. The air, no longer thick with mystique, carried an unsettling stillness that lingered long after the encounter. As I emerged from the crypt, the moonlit cemetery held an ethereal quality, as if the spirits of the past observed my departure with a spectral gaze. The secrets I had unwittingly absorbed clung to me, a haunting reminder of a journey into the forbidden unknown. The ancient cemetery, once a place of serene repose, now bore the indelible mark of a cryptic encounter that transcended the boundaries between the living and the shadows of forgotten rituals. It was a time-honored heirloom, an antique music box with ornate carvings that spoke of a bygone era. Nestled in the corner of my study, it had become a cherished relic, an object with a mysterious allure that transcended the passage of time. As the clock struck midnight each night, the room would be filled with the melancholic notes of its haunting melody, a gentle reminder of the beauty inherent in the antique craftsmanship. One evening, however, the familiar tune took an unexpected turn. The air in the room seemed to thicken as the music box's melody shifted into a dissonant symphony. The once melodic notes now clashed in discord, creating an unsettling atmosphere that permeated the very essence of the room. The temperature dropped, and an otherworldly chill hung in the air. As the dissonance reached its crescendo, a spectral mist materialized, swirling and coalescing into the ethereal forms of an otherworldly orchestra. Transparent musicians, adorned in garments reminiscent of a bygone era, held instruments that seemed to materialize from the mist itself. Violins, cellos, and haunting wind instruments materialized in their grasp, and the room resonated with the mournful strains of a requiem that echoed the tragedies of my past. The conductor, an indistinct figure with an air of profound sorrow, directed the spectral ensemble in a macabre dance of sound. Each note bore the weight of forgotten sorrows, and the music seemed to unravel the tapestry of time, revealing moments of heartache and loss that lingered in the recesses of my memory. The room became a tableau of the past, illuminated by the ghostly glow of the spectral orchestra. Faces of loved ones long departed flashed before my eyes, and the haunting requiem seemed to transcend the boundaries between the living and the ethereal. It was as if the music box had become a conduit for the spirits of the past, a medium through which they expressed the depth of their anguish. As the final notes of the requiem lingered in the air, the spectral orchestra slowly dissipated, their transparent forms fading into the shadows. The antique music box, now silent, returned to its dormant state, as if the spectral performance had been a momentary glimpse into a realm beyond the veil. In the aftermath, the room retained an aura of profound solemnity. The antique music box, once a simple relic, had become a conduit for the echoes of bygone sorrows. Midnight, which had been a time of quiet reflection, now bore the weight of a spectral symphony that transcended the boundaries of the material world. The haunting melody persisted, a reminder that the past, though shrouded in the mist of time, could manifest itself in unexpected and haunting ways. The grandeur of the historic mansion seemed to envelop me as I explored its labyrinthine corridors and ornate rooms. It was a dwelling with a storied past, and with each creak of the aged floorboards, I could almost sense the echoes of bygone eras whispering through the walls. One day, during my exploration, I stumbled upon a concealed door hidden behind a tapestry that seemed untouched by time. As I cautiously opened the door, a gust of stale air met my senses, and my eyes fell upon a forgotten chamber bathed in dusty shadows. At its center stood an ancient typewriter, its keys coated in a layer of neglect. The room bore an aura of abandonment, as if time itself had forsaken this hidden sanctum. Compelled by curiosity, I approached the dusty relic of a bygone era. The typewriter seemed frozen in time, a relic of an era when such machines were the conduits for the written word. As I tentatively pressed a key, the aged mechanism responded with a resounding click. The room, once silent, seemed to come alive with a muted hum. To my astonishment, the words I typed onto the yellowing paper were not of my own creation. Instead, they unfolded a narrative that foretold gruesome events, details so vivid and unsettling that they seemed to transcend the realm of mere fiction. It was as if the typewriter held a malevolent intelligence, tapping into a dimension where the boundary between reality and nightmare blurred. Terrified yet compelled, I experimented further with the mysterious typewriter. Each keystroke became a gateway to a nightmarish reality, and the words etched onto the paper unfolded like a cursed tapestry. The events described were not mere predictions, they were a malevolent prelude, a grotesque symphony of horrors waiting to manifest. As the typewriter's keys clicked and clacked in a disconcerting rhythm, I realized the sinister nature of the hidden chamber. It was a portal to a malevolent realm, and my every keystroke shaped the unfolding nightmare around me. The mansion, once a haven of grandeur, became a stage for the macabre, and I, an unwitting puppeteer, manipulated the strings of a dark and twisted reality. The horrors described in the typed narratives bled into my waking life, each prediction manifesting with chilling accuracy. Shadows danced along the walls, and the air resonated with an otherworldly tension. I became ensnared in a web of malevolence, unable to escape the consequences of my unwitting interactions with the accursed typewriter. The once stately mansion transformed into a sinister labyrinth where the boundaries between the real and the supernatural became indistinguishable. Desperation gripped me as I grappled with the realization that the typewriter was not a mere relic but a conduit to a malevolent dimension. My every attempt to resist the pull of the ominous predictions proved futile, as if an unseen force guided my hand, compelling me to continue typing the horrors that unfolded. In the heart of that hidden room, I found myself trapped in a nightmarish cycle, a prisoner of the malevolent typewriter's predictions. The mansion's walls whispered with the echoes of a reality shaped by my keystrokes, and the once silent typewriter became an instrument of my own descent into an abyss of terror. The historic mansion, once a symbol of elegance, stood as a haunting testament to the unforeseen consequences of unlocking the secrets hidden within its walls.